The story of Dreamstar Lines is, in many ways, a story about rediscovering romance, luxury, and practicality in American travel. For decades, the trip between Los Angeles and San Francisco, two of California's most dynamic and iconic cities, has been dominated by cars and planes. Drivers pack Interstate 5, sitting through hours of monotony across the Central Valley, while airline passengers endure crowded terminals, security lines, and short, rushed flights. The magic of the journey itself had been lost. Dreamstar Lines set out to change that. Dreamstar Lines was founded with a clear mission: to bring back the overnight train, reimagined for the 21st century. Inspired by the golden age of rail travel, when trains like the Coast Daylight and Lark were once the preferred way to travel between Southern and Northern California, Dreamstar Lines wanted to fuse the elegance of classic sleeper trains with modern technology and comfort. Its founders were a group of rail enthusiasts, designers, and entrepreneurs who believed that there was still a market for travelers who wanted something more than just speed, travelers who wanted an experience. The idea started to gain momentum in the early 2020s. At this time, California's long-discussed high-speed rail project was still under construction, plagued by delays and rising costs. Flights between Los Angeles and San Francisco were efficient but increasingly frustrating for passengers dealing with crowded airports, long TSA lines, and unpredictable delays. The road trip option was not much better, as I-5 traffic jams became a common frustration. Dreamstar Lines presented an alternative that was both nostalgic and forward-thinking: a luxury overnight train that could leave Los Angeles in the late evening, let passengers sleep in comfort as the train glided up the California coast, and deliver them to San Francisco early the next morning, refreshed and ready for the day. This concept appealed to several types of travelers. Business professionals could board the train after dinner in Los Angeles, work or relax in a private cabin, sleep through the night, and wake up in San Francisco in time for a morning meeting, all without losing productive time. Tourists could turn the journey into part of their vacation, enjoying the scenery, the dining car, and the unique feeling of sleeping on a moving train. Even environmentally conscious travelers saw Dreamstar Lines as a sustainable alternative to short-haul flights and long drives, reducing carbon emissions while still offering convenience. From the beginning, Dreamstar Lines made clear that this was not just another train, it was meant to be an experience. The company's branding evoked images of Art Deco train posters, starlit nights, and the romance of rail travel. The name, Dreamstar, itself was chosen to suggest the magic of traveling under the stars, a reminder that the journey could be just as special as the destination. Bringing this dream to life, however, was not simple. Unlike many passenger rail services in the United States, which are operated by Amtrak and often subsidized by the government, Dreamstar Lines is a private company. This means they had to design, fund, and operate everything independently, from purchasing or leasing locomotives and sleeper cars to negotiating track access with freight rail companies that own much of the route. Despite these challenges, the founders saw an opportunity. There was unused capacity on the rails during overnight hours, and with careful planning, Dreamstar Lines could fit its schedule into the freight network without major disruption. The planning process involved more than just logistics. The team studied the history of overnight trains in California, learning lessons from the past. In the mid-20th century, trains like Southern Pacific's Lark offered sleepers, dining service, and a touch of glamour, but they eventually disappeared as cars and planes took over. Dreamstar Lines wanted to revive that spirit but also improve on it with 21st century amenities, things like Wi-Fi, ergonomic beds, quiet climate control, and even onboard entertainment systems. Investors and early supporters were drawn in by the idea that Dreamstar Lines could become something iconic, a symbol of California innovation, much like the cable cars in San Francisco or Route 66 in Los Angeles. The founders emphasized that they were not simply running a train, but creating a moving boutique hotel on rails, one that could compete with the combined experience of flying and staying in a hotel overnight. By 2024, Dreamstar Lines had secured funding, finalized its designs, and announced plans for a launch in 2026. The announcement generated excitement in the media and among travelers who were eager to try something new. Journalists described Dreamstar as a renaissance for American sleeper trains, and compared it to luxury rail services abroad, like the Venice Simplon Orient Express in Europe or the Blue Train in South Africa. Dreamstar Lines, founders often repeated a simple phrase when explaining their mission: "We're bringing back the night train." But they were not just reviving the past, they were reinventing it. Every decision, from the train's interior design to its ticketing system, was made with the goal of combining nostalgia with modern luxury. In many ways, the history and concept of Dreamstar Lines is not just about transportation, it's about changing the way people think about travel. It's about turning a 6-hour car trip or a 1-hour flight into something memorable, something that feels like part of the adventure rather than just a necessary step. As Dreamstar Lines prepared for its first departure, it became clear that this was more than just a train, it was the beginning of a new chapter for American passenger rail. Dreamstar Lines set out to create a train that feels more like a boutique hotel than traditional public transportation. From the moment passengers step onto the platform, the experience is designed to feel special, curated, elegant, and relaxing. This focus on design is one of Dreamstar's strongest appeals, as it differentiates the service from standard rail or air travel. The exterior of the Dreamstar train is sleek and modern, featuring deep navy blue carriages with gold lettering and a subtle star motif running along the sides, a nod to its name and its nighttime service. Soft LED lighting illuminates the train at stations, making it look both futuristic and inviting. The locomotives themselves are painted in the same livery, giving the entire consist a sense of unity and brand identity. But it's once passengers step inside that the experience truly begins. The interior is a blend of modern minimalism and vintage charm. The design team worked to capture the romantic feeling of the golden age of train travel: polished wood panels, brass fixtures, and plush seating, while ensuring that everything feels clean, functional, and in line with modern expectations. Cabin options. Dreamstar Lines offers several classes of accommodation to suit different travelers' needs and budgets. At the top of the range are premium suites, spacious private cabins with double beds, ensuite bathrooms, work desks, and panoramic windows. These suites are ideal for business travelers or couples who want a completely private and luxurious journey. Below that are sleeper cabins, which are slightly smaller but still offer comfortable beds, personal climate control, and a private sink and vanity. Restrooms and showers are shared, but kept immaculately clean. Solo travelers and budget-conscious passengers often choose solo pods, which resemble Japanese capsule hotels, compact but cozy sleeping spaces with privacy curtains, charging ports, and reading lights. Regardless of class, every passenger gets access to clean bedding, complimentary Wi-Fi, and a digital concierge service through their smartphones, allowing them to order food, check arrival times, or request assistance from the crew. Dining and lounge experience. One of Dreamstar Lines' proudest achievements is its dining car, which combines the nostalgia of classic train dining with a menu curated by California chefs. Passengers can enjoy dinner with fresh, locally sourced ingredients before settling in for the night. Signature dishes often feature California cuisine. Think grilled vegetables from the Central Valley, fresh seafood, artisan bread, and local wines. After dinner, passengers can relax in the Sky Lounge, a beautifully designed car with large observation windows and comfortable seating. The lounge serves cocktails, coffee, and desserts late into the night, making it a perfect spot to unwind, read, or meet other travelers. For those who prefer quiet, the lounge has small alcoves and window-facing booths designed for privacy. Technology and comfort. Dreamstar Lines understands that modern travelers expect technology to work seamlessly, so the train is fully equipped with reliable high-speed Wi-Fi, USB-C charging ports, and even small workstations for passengers who need to stay productive during the trip. Noise insulation is a key part of the train's design. Unlike older sleeper trains, Dreamstar coaches are built with advanced soundproofing to reduce track noise and vibrations, allowing for a smoother night's sleep. Climate control is automated, ensuring cabins remain at a comfortable temperature regardless of outside conditions. Lighting is carefully designed to help passengers relax. Warm, dimmable LED lights create a cozy atmosphere, and in higher class cabins, passengers can simulate a sunrise in the morning to wake up gently. Accessibility and service. Dreamstar Lines also emphasizes accessibility. There are wheelchair-accessible cabins, elevators for boarding, and onboard staff trained to assist passengers with special needs. Crew members are dressed in elegant uniforms and trained not just in safety, but in hospitality. Their goal is to provide a first-class experience. Ultimately, Dreamstar's onboard experience is designed to transform the trip into something enjoyable. It is not just a way to get from Los Angeles to San Francisco, it is a destination in itself, offering a chance to disconnect from the rush of everyday life and enjoy a few hours of calm, comfort, and beauty. The Los Angeles to San Francisco route is one of the most iconic travel corridors in the United States, and Dreamstar Lines makes the most of it. The overnight schedule is designed to maximize convenience and comfort. Passengers board in Los Angeles between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m., settle into their cabins, enjoy dinner or drinks, and then drift off to sleep as the train glides northward. Departure from Los Angeles. The journey begins at Los Angeles Union Station, itself a historic landmark with Spanish colonial revival architecture and a grand waiting hall. Dreamstar passengers have access to a private lounge at the station, where they can enjoy complimentary refreshments and priority boarding. As departure time approaches, the platform lights up with a sense of anticipation. When the conductor calls, "All aboard," passengers step onto the train, greeted by uniformed attendants who guide them to their cabins. Overnight journey through California. After departure, the train makes its way out of Los Angeles, slowly leaving behind the sprawl of the city. For passengers still awake, the first hour offers views of Los Angeles' glittering skyline, followed by the quiet darkness of the countryside. As the train picks up speed, it follows a route through the Central Valley, California's agricultural heartland. Though much of this part of the trip happens under cover of night, passengers who stay up late might catch glimpses of farmland, distant mountains, and small towns along the way. The rhythmic motion of the train and the sound of the rails create a relaxing atmosphere that makes it easy to fall asleep. Early morning arrival in the Bay Area. Sometime around dawn, the train reaches the Bay Area. Passengers who wake up early are treated to one of the highlights of the trip, watching the sunrise as the train crosses through rolling hills and approaches the San Francisco Peninsula. Dreamstar Lines deliberately times this part of the trip so passengers can enjoy the scenery. Breakfast is served in the dining car, with options like fresh fruit, pastries, and coffee sourced from local roasters. The train arrives in San Francisco, or its nearby terminal, depending on final routing, between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m., allowing business travelers to head directly to their offices and tourists to start exploring the city. Scenic highlights. While the journey is mostly overnight, Dreamstar Lines is considering seasonal, sunset, departures or weekend trips where passengers can enjoy more daylight scenery, including stretches of California coastline, vineyards, and distant views of the Sierra Nevada. The company understands that part of the romance of train travel is looking out the window and watching the world go by, so large windows and observation lounges are key to the experience. Convenience and comparison. One of Dreamstar Lines' biggest selling points is that it combines transportation, lodging, and relaxation in a single package. Instead of paying for a plane ticket, a